bring in the big guns. This is what sleepless nights and bad babies are made of.
Steve it.
Hello again, and if you're new, welcome to my channel where I bake my way through season 1 of the Great British Bake Off. This week is the technical and it is scones. I think that scones in North America are quite different from scones in England. Ours tend to be a lot more desserty, and the ones that I'm making look similar to what I would call a tea biscuit. I'm making them in the morning so that my fam and I can eat them, and the children are getting a bit rangy. So the first thing we're going to do is measure out our flour, which is 450 grams of self-raising flour. So I made that myself here, which is just flour and baking powder and salt. And then we're also going to add 2 teaspoons of baking powder. We're gonna put that all into a food processor, and then we're going to add 75 grams of butter at room temperature and process it until it's crumbly. As per usual, I am spilling flour. So that's my flour, my baking powder. My husband's getting in on the mimosas. And our butter. Okay. Okay, so our butter and our flour and our baking powder are mixed, and they kind of have that bread crummy texture going in there. I'm just going to get out my mixer and then we will keep on going. Okay, so I've transferred our flour butter mixture to the stand mixer, and then I have a mix of 2 eggs, and I had 225 milliliters of milk. Mary Berry, that sneaky little gremlin, tried to trick me, because then when I read the recipe it said up to a generous 300 milliliters of milk, and that like a wet batter is better for scones. So I put my eggs and my milk together. I'm just maybe going to give them another quick stir just to make sure they're nicely combined. And then I've also kept aside about 3 tablespoons to brush the top of the scones. I am going to slowly add this to the mixer until we get a nice wet dough. So now that we have our dough all mixed together, I also forgot to mention that when you're doing your dry ingredients, your butter and your flour, you also are adding your sugar. So I'm going to turn this out onto a lightly floured surface, and I'm going to roll it or flatten it to about 1 to 2 centimeters. It's definitely a wet dough. I don't know. I'm really not sure how you would roll this out with a rolling pin. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I think these are too wet. I'll give it a go. I gotta wash my hands. I don't know if you can see that. They've been nasty. Moment of truth. My dough is too wet. There's no way that's going to work. I'm going to mix some flour into it. Oh no, this is an epic disaster. that was like an epic disaster. So who knows how these are gonna turn out. If this was the Great British Bake Off reveal, I would have been going home. But now I'm going to try to actually stamp these out. Oh yes, this is much better. Oh, it's actually working. Before, Cody, they were like, if you tried to stamp biscuits out of lava. You think you're gonna make better scones than me? I don't think so. I'll take my recipe to the grave. Okay, so I have a greased pan here. So I'm gonna put these onto the pan. And then I'm going to roll my dough back together. I have a feeling these aren't gonna rise and they're gonna be like tea biscuits. Hi! That's Stevie, AKA me, is her real name. She's hungry. She's like, where's the food, yo? Oh, Paul Hollywood would be like, what is this one? I'd be like, it's real friendly and nice, Paul. Stop body shaming my scones. To redeem myself, I have made homemade clotted cream and rosemary lemon curd. So for my rosemary lemon curd, I basically took a regular lemon curd recipe, and before I made it, I infused my butter on a really low heat on the stovetop with rosemary, 4 sprigs of fresh rosemary. If I was doing it again, I think I would either use a bit more rosemary or let it go a bit longer because it's there, but I think I would like a stronger rosemary taste. And my clotted cream, so in England you can get a higher fat content than we can in Canada, and we don't have options for like ultra pasteurized or I don't know,
regular pasteurized.
Regular pasteurized. We only have just like pasteurized. So I used whipping cream, which is 35%. I put it in the oven. Oh, I'm not following Mary's directions. She says to pull right out and not to twist. I put it in the oven overnight at the lowest temperature my oven would go, which was 170 degrees. And then the next day, I let it come to room temperature. I then put it in the fridge overnight, or no, for the whole day. And then last night, I scooped off the clotted cream bits and put them in some jars. And then, voila, clotted cream. Okay. Give this a go. We're gonna pop them into the oven for 10 to 15 minutes. I'm gonna do 6 minutes and then I'll switch my pans around. So to keep theme with this epic fail bake, I also didn't brush the top of my biscuits. So in a minute, I was gonna switch the racks around anyways. So I'm gonna brush the tops with the egg milk mixture. Okay, so I'm gonna throw those back in for another 5 to 8 minutes. Oven mitt. Oh, yeah.
Have to use this one?
Oh. Mom needs to buy new oven mitts, Emerson. This week on Diana's Great British Bake Off has been a slight disaster. So I've burnt my thumb. These ones are pretty toasty. You know, I felt so confident, like scones. How could it go wrong? I've done cakes. But, you know, no, I can't even say they're not that bad. Can you say this week on the Great British Bake Vlog has been a disaster?
Monsters walking, you are a disaster.
Yeah, pretty much. But I'll do some filming when we're enjoying them together as a fam jam.
Look at my special drink.
Yes. Come on, kiss.
Thank you for baking with us.
Yes, thank you for joining me. Hopefully next week will go better. Always do your baking when your kids are really hungry and super friendly.
Which drink?
That one, the bigger one, acts like I'm trying to poison him by making him eat them.
Now, yoga popsicle.
And that one is
Keeping the dog fed.
keeping the dog fed. So my scones didn't really turn out.
That's not true at all.
I know, but they're not like proper. They're supposed to rise even all the way around. However, my clotted cream and my rosemary lemon curd
Are amazing.
are bomb. Join me next week, or it won't be next week. Who am I kidding? Join me next time when I'm baking something else. I don't know what it is. But
Taste test.
I think they're a little dry.
You're the best baker in the world.
Bye.
Look, Mom, I'm sticky.
Bye.
Look, Mom, I'm sticky.
Wave. Wave at me. Bye.
Bye. Say that's the bake.
Got the bake.